Greetings all, I'm Bill Vencil. This is Chords of Orion, and today I'm looking at the Crrazy Tube Circuit's Mirage. It's a dual delay pedal that swims against the tide of recent dual delay pedal releases, in that it's extremely simple to use. Oh, I love it. And there's no menu diving. You can run this pedal in stereo, full independent left-right stereo, very cool. You can run it in series so that Reverb 1 feeds into Reverb 2, and there's even an effects loop so that you can put pedals, other effects, in between the two reverbs. I'm running in stereo right now, so here's my dry tone. Yes, now let me bring in the Mirage, both Reverb 1 and Reverb 2 together. Now, you might recognize that reverb tone. Yeah, it's a plate-style reverb. Now, as you might have noticed as you're looking at the pedal, there are duplicated controls for both Reverb 1 and Reverb 2, including separate foot switches. So, for example, if I want to turn off the left reverb, I can do that, and obviously vice versa. I can also independently control the mix for both the left and right reverbs. So maybe I want that right reverb up in the mix. Maybe I want to bring the left dry tone up a scooch. I've got a volume knob here that allows me to do that. And by the way, the volume knob functions as a clean boost. It's very flexible and it works great. It's really, really nice. All right, we also, in addition to these controls, have a swell control. Now, the naming convention's a little unusual for me as an American. I think of this as the reverb decay control. So let me bring up the decay or swell on the left side. Okay, let me go ahead and bring that up here. We'll bring up the mix a little bit. And I'll bring the decay down on the right. And you know, this plate has a pretty long decay. Nice, and you can hear a little modulation going on in the kind of underneath. The other knob I want to draw your attention to is the Excite knob. This does vary from reverb type to reverb type, but in general, it functions as a type of tone control that can either suppress or bring up high frequencies. In reverb types like a shimmer, it will control the mix of the shimmer itself. So let's go ahead and bring Excite up on this plate style reverb. Now if I bring the mix down, yeah, nice. And I bring in a delay pedal that I have on my pedal board, and I do volume pedal swells, which I was doing. You can get some really nice sounds. Really nice. All right, let me tell you a little bit more about the reverb types. Again, the two knobs in the middle represent the ability to switch reverb types for both Reverb 1 and Reverb 2. There are two banks of 8 reverb types, so a total of 16 reverb types for each of the two sides. All right? So if I press these little shift knobs, we're going to shift into what Crrazy Tube Circuit calls the more ambient set of reverbs. So let me go ahead and set this up, and let's see what we get. I think you know what kind of reverb that is. Really nice. Obviously, that's a shimmer, and you can hear modulation going on with the octave shimmer. Very, very nice. Now, what if I did want to run two different types of reverbs together? Maybe I want to go back to that plate reverb, which I will do. We'll set it up for a medium-long decay. We'll set the excite up pretty far and a lot of mix. Let's hear what we get. Two different types of reverbs. That's really nice. Now, let me go ahead and switch this back to the ambient bank, and let me switch this up to one of the other shimmer settings. So we'll have standard shimmer, and this would be shimmer down, so you'll hear an octave underneath the shimmer. That's going to be on the right side. So let's set this up here. There we go. And let's see what we get. Oh, yeah. Now again, if I combine that with a delay pedal, there we go, and get a little delay going to create a longer tone. Really nice. All right, I've set up another combinations of reverbs in the left and right side. So again, R1 is your right, R2 is your left. In R1, I've set it back to the natural bank of reverbs, but I've selected one that is really interesting. It's called Inch and Down, and it's a reverb that's modeled after Scottish oil tanks. Interesting. So if we bring that swell pretty far up, and we'll bring the excite up too, and I've got the mix all the way up. You're going to hear a nice long reverb tail. Yeah, oh yeah. I love those oil tanks. All right, great. Let's check out the left side. I've set this up as a modulating reverb, still on the, I think it's called Modioverb. It's on the ambient bank. Here's what that sounds like. Yeah, we'll bring that one up too. Yeah, it's kind of interesting when you hear them in mono on the sides, but then when you bring them both together, oh yeah. And then I'll throw in my delay pedal. Now, did you say you wanted infinite reverb? Well, the Mirage has got you covered. I've set both reverbs up to the infinite setting, and here's what that sounds like. Really nice. And you can set it up so that it responds to how hard you pick and how you phrase your chords and notes. I'd like to spend just a minute or two talking to you about the reverbs in serial mode. Here is my dry tone again, just to recalibrate your ears. And we're going to be going in series now from reverb 1 into reverb 2. It is important to note that when you put it in series mode, that you flip from having stereo capabilities to mono capabilities. All right? So I've got reverb number 2 set up as a cathedral style reverb. Yeah, that's nice. So actually, I'm going to make it a little shorter, though. All right, that's great. Now, let me go ahead and select reverb 1 by itself. And this is going to be a shimmer setting. We're going reverb 1 into reverb 2. Super nice. And again, you've got 16 reverbs to play around with on reverb 1 and 16 reverbs to play around with on reverb 2. The mixing possibilities, well, they're not endless, but they're quite significant. The more I use this pedal, the more I like it. I really like it because it can get very complex, really creative sounding ambient tones. But it's a pedal that has stripped away all the stuff that's been glomming on to pedals over the last years. Screens, menu diving, software updates, software editors, just all kinds of complexity that ultimately take away from the creative process of quickly twisting knobs and dialing in amazing ambient reverb tones. I'm really interested to know what you think, though. Please drop a comment. Give me your thoughts. Well, that's it. I will see all of you on the next video.